Whoa, making a video. Yeah, wet and windy. So yeah, I'll try this, but it's probably not a good idea. It's going to be a distracting, irritating, noisy walk. Anyway, 3 videos, I guess, all kind of saying the same thing. There was a Myron Mystic one on the economy where he's kind of griping at a guy because he's just saying something like exponential growth. And it sounds like a good argument, but it's not based on anything. There's no proof to the argument. And then Piero did a video, who he never posts the link to the video he's responding to, which is incredibly annoying. Especially if he's not going to title it the same. And yeah, basically somebody was griping because, you know, all these images from space are always glorified. They're gilded lilies. And Piero's making the argument that somehow that is the reality, the fake, seeing it for what it isn't. But I guess my point would be is that, yeah, I'll concede the point that sometimes you can see more through technology, and that's a good thing. And seeing more than there is visible to our eye, seeing in other wavelengths and all this stuff, is very useful, incredibly useful. But we know that this part of it's being used to put Mother Nature in a pretty dress. We know we're not doing the, the images of her, pimple and crusted backside or something. They're not. It's all makeup. The makeup is being shown. The stuff that makes something look worse, the more information that has a negative sensual experience is being thrown in the wastebasket, and the stuff that comes out pretty isn't, and that's the bullshit. And then there was a video by Derived Energy, and it was more about the comments on that video between him and Tranquil, who's disillusioned by YouTube. Yeah, and he thinks that, there's some arguments in, centuries-old Indian jibber-jabber and even Schopenhauer that somehow have something to do with something. But again, these unarticulated arguments, these arguments from a source that really should be makeable. Philosophy isn't calculus. It isn't some kind of, it's not. You're up to speed if you have the vocabulary. You're up to speed, pretty much, right? And then it's just a matter of putting a few of these sentences together. Unless you're a propagandist, because then you're going to depend on poetry and aesthetics. And does it sound good? Does it feed on your heroic instincts or your survival, your fear instincts, or some other mechanism? Yeah, sorry, I got to do a walk around here because it's a little too muddy there, and I'm not wearing mud-ready shoes. But I'm not really wearing pricker-bush-ready pants. So I'm in a quandary. Ow, that is going to leave a mark. Ow. But look at the deers have eaten this stuff. It's amazing. It's all bitten. So the deers are getting desperate already. Winter hasn't even started, and they're eating pricker bushes. Anyway. Yeah, seawater. Yeah, where my path is supposed to be. And my shoelace is already untied. Things are just not going, very well. All the little things that can go wrong are going wrong. I'm finding it all horrifically unpalatable. So even that sentence, it's this emphasis, emotionalism. I guess that's the sort of the subject of this video, is that where's the propaganda stop and where's the reality begin kind of thing. What's the obligation of people who are going to argue something? Don't they have to bring a little more to the table than the scare tactic, this is like little kids and scary clowns or something. I mean, everybody's just resorting to the cliche weapons of propaganda, rather than making some sort of real argument. And I'm certainly guilty in sometimes of this thing, but it's not some kind of overt guilt. Like, I don't sit there and overtly plan, to get angry or incredibly frustrated and animated. So that's a difference, I suppose, in terms of one thing is done to, as a deliberate effort, a plan to construct an argument, and the other is an accidental, incidental, holy crap, the tree's gone. Holy crap. Well, I suppose there is holy crap. Yeah, there used to be a tree I could get across in the winter. Can't do that anymore. I wonder what storm put that out. I don't even remember. Probably happened a month ago. But whatever. I don't always notice everything. Yeah, right away. Takes a little time for it to seep in. My world has changed. La 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 la. Big tree though. It's hard to imagine it bouncing down this stream. Must have stopped somewhere down here. It was really too big a tree to go too far. Really was. That tree's in big trouble. Yeah, it's getting undermined. Anyway. I've kind of been off subject for a little while here. Hands cold too. Alright, switch pocket hands. Should have wore gloves or something. But whatever. Should have, could have, would have. Didn't have. Anyway. Sorry about the wind and such. And, okay, where was I? See if a tree can fall on me. That really would be. Should have wore a hat. Yeah, no, it's all spooky up there. Oh, God. Anyway. Yeah. That is a big fucking tree. Man, that's a big fucking tree. Anyway. Where was I? No, I'm nervous. Propaganda, yeah. Big fucking tree. Scary, scary. Yeah, well, the fact is, it's not scary if you're rational, because the odds of that tree dropping a branch on my head, whoa, on exactly this day, exactly the right time, exactly the right trajectory and all that crap to fall right on my stupid little head are pretty damn high. I mean, hundreds and thousands to one probably. So yeah, it's sort of kind of a propaganda to even bring it up. This is not a realistic threat, I don't think. There's a lot of trees though, so it's a lot of lottery tickets I'm buying. Like, ka-ching, there's a lottery ticket. Oh, ka-ching, there's another one. Ka-ching, 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 ka-ching. So I keep buying a lot of lottery tickets. So my odds go from, hundreds of thousands to one to maybe 50,000 to one. Something like that. That's kind of interesting. The old vine work. Yeah, pretty cool. Yeah. God, I just don't feel like being alive. Down here. Yeah. Spooky. So anyway, yeah, so we're doing this arguing thing. We really should be able to do it kind of directly, and kind of with real evidence and all that kind of crap. And so I think it's a legitimate argument when these cosmetologist people start saying things like God's particle, and you're like, oh, please, come on. What the hell is that crap? And when they're painting pictures of the universe rather than, painting in the sense that they're colorizing arbitrarily images from space done in wavelengths we can't even see, and they just decide to make it pink and purple and, create contrast that human beings find, generally speaking, comforting and sensually pleasing. And they don't use colors that do the opposite. And that's propaganda, plain and simple. And I suppose it's also, to be fair, if you did the one, you should do the other on purpose. It's like you should try to do, if we're ambiguous about something, you should try to take a picture of it, or if you're going to have a foggy picture, take the worst image, the ugliest, and the best image, and show them both. Put them so at least it's understood that this is the range that the reality falls in. That would be more honest. But these people really aren't after the honesty. They want the poetry when it suits them, especially when it's to make their argument or to make the argument they're comfortable with. There's just a lot of people who just like to cheat in there. And I frankly have I don't think there should be a cheat. I think I should be called on it. And I think it should always be called. The flag, we need a referee to throw the flag whenever the trespass against honesty is being committed. The truth. Yeah. The real, it's like even the news. You look at the news and it's all these 1 in a million type crimes. It has nothing to do with your daily life and what you should be afraid of, which is probably, those oysters you bought or something. You should be more afraid of them than your, the axe-murderer living next door. That kind of thing. Everything's knocked way out of proportion. Perspective is destroyed. So anyway, getting this back to my point, or the thing I'm arguing for, is this fact that the truth isn't complicated. And there's this huge advantage there is that it isn't. And so if it is spelled out, if the pieces are kind of put in the right place, like a puzzle, except you leave space between them, people can get the idea, and they can put the pieces together themselves. We can definitely spell it out and provide people with, an ability to put this puzzle together without cheating the puzzle, without doing it for them, without giving them something they're not going to understand because they didn't put it together. And so we can sort of lay it all out and make it so it's really hard to screw it up. And so that's what I would argue to the tranquil guy. Your frustration might be based on the fact that you're making obtuse, eccentric statements about reality, and you're backing them up with, go read the gobbledygook on the bottom of, Gandhi's shoe or something. No, I don't need to read, religious mush to be able to understand a theme or an idea. And if you can articulate that idea, then fine. But all you've articulated is nihilism. And that should be rejected by anybody with a brain. All right? You don't live as an individual. You live as one individual in a collective. You are a meme machine. Besides being a need machine, you're a meme machine. You spread memes. You can collect one, you can transfer it to another person. That's the way we work. We can influence each other. One individual can influence billions, and that's just the truth. One sentence can have like nuclear-esque power. I mean, a simple phrase, do unto others as you would have others do unto you. Very simple, very tidy, very logical, win all over the place. Those kind of things can be articulated by minds and exchanged and understood. So, your failure has to be your failure. You keep complaining like there's something else stopping you besides you. No, it's you. And I will argue that my failures are my failures. I've thrown away some opportunities, certainly made mistakes in how I've approached arguments. I would argue that some of that is just me being me, and I can't be somebody else. But the point is, if I fail, I'm not going to point at something else and say it failed. I'm going to know I failed. I feel the failure right now. I feel it living inside of me. So I'm not, trying to obfuscate and say, well, people are too stupid. Isn't that kind of a funny argument to make? I mean, I've made it, but isn't it kind of a funny argument to make? Somehow the smart people can't figure out how to work the dumb people? The smart people should be able to run rings around the dumb people. Like I said, we should be able to give them a trail of Fruit Loops or candy corn or whatever they're after and lead them to the truth without cheating the truth. And it is a problem if we have to compete with Piros out there, dropping little trails of gummy bears and other kinds of sweets and bullshit, trying to lead people down the bunny trail of bullshit. It's hard to win when you got to compete with the lies. It's hard to win with the truth. But your argument that somehow you're at the disadvantage is just such bullshit. I mean, we're the ones selling the dismal truth that, human beings are basically just assholes, and there's no reason to make more of them. They're just need machines. They get on this planet, and they're likely, even if they're good people, they're likely to consume more than they produce. They're likely to enslave some other poor slob to work 12 hours a day so they can have their 50-cent remote control or whatever the fuck it is, their iPod or pad or bed or whatever, couch, their iCouch. It's all bullshit. We suck. And you're telling me that we're not the ones with the harder job? Fuck you. I mean, come on. People don't want to hear that. But it is the truth. And, so that's the burden. That's the job. So anyway, kind of a sloppy video. Kind of sloppy ground here. I feel like the swamp. I feel like festering, rotten, spongy dirt. Yet I keep breathing, keep fighting, so I don't have to fight again. Damn, that's dismal. And fighting and losing, so I don't have to lose more. The grand victory of minimizing losses. That sucks. Anyway, until next time, and such.